So that first book was, I got to a point in which I said, okay, I can't think of anything else that I can apply for it in this moment. And again, that first book went through about 17 rounds of edits of my own, but it was enough that I could say I was proud of that if that went out, because I'd achieved what I wanted to achieve with that book, which was to make me happy and to please me as a reader and a writer. And yeah, I think it's a scary thing to put a book out and always think, oh, there's more that I could have done to that book. But the reality is there's always going to be something you can do to that book. So what I'd kind of advise for people, if you're finding yourself spinning those wheels, because that's another trap. Like I've got a few authors in the community who have been writing their first book for almost 10 years, just because it's not quite good enough. And then they'll put it down for 2 years. They'll come back 2 years later. And obviously they've learned a lot in that 2 years that they then apply to their next draft. The best that you can do is write the book to the best of your ability in that moment, pass it off to some potential readers, and then get a bit of feedback on what the readers believe from that story, because your readers are your audience. They're the people you're trying to reach. And then you take their feedback, depending on what the sort of consensus is among them, take that in the most positive way you can and learn. And I would argue, get to a point where you can just publish that first book. Like, again, don't put something sloppy out, and only you can really be the judge of that. I think internally there's a compass within us that goes like, I haven't given this everything I want. But if you can answer that question truthfully of, yes, I've given this everything that I know that I can give in this moment, put it out and then learn whatever comes after that.
Yeah, and I think that there are a couple of checkpoint items, like showing it to someone else before you publish it.
Oh,
Whether that's ideally a professional editor, but if that's not in the cards for you, then beta readers, friendly readers of the genre, whatever that might be. That there's some things that are probably non-negotiable that you should do before you put it out. But
absolutely.
then also applying the compass.
Yeah. Depending on what your budgets are and like the services that are available at your fingertips. Yeah, definitely pass it through an editor, pass it through a professional, and also pass it through readers. Readers for me are probably one of the most important people I put it through, because of course I put it through editors and proofreaders and all that kind of stuff. But if it's not reaching the readers in the way that I want it to, that's when I'll go back to the drawing board and try and fix it, because they're the most important part in my process.